Today I'm so happy to show you such a great way to make a favorite dish of everyone, a rib roast. So we're starting with about a 4-pound roast that I let get to room temperature. Now I'm just going to cover it and totally drown it in some olive oil. That's going to make it nice and moist and give that outer layer such a great crust as this cooks in the air fryer. So this is a very foolproof technique for cooking this tremendous piece of meat. Just getting as much of that oil, get it off the pan. We don't want it on the pan, we want it on our meat, right? So I got it nice and covered. Now I'm going to put that aside and we're going to bring in our seasoning mix. This is such a crucial part of the dish. We're going to start off with about a 1/4 cup of thyme that I chopped up. I'm just going to drizzle that right onto the bottom of my bowl. That thyme is going to be just a great herbal flavor. And now coarse sea salt. Go heavy on the salt. Don't be afraid of the salt. This is really going to bring this flavor home. We're going about a 1/4 cup of sea salt and then some minced garlic. This is not powdered. We're going minced to fit with that, also that coarse salt. It's going to make this crust just unbelievable. We're in about a 1/4 cup of that minced garlic. Now paprika. I'm going to do a couple tablespoons of paprika. We're adding in a few seasonings here that are going to make this just a tiny bit spicy. Now some crushed red pepper. We're just going to do a tablespoon or two just to bring a little bit of spice. That's going to be just a unique flavor that's going to make this dish really, really pop. And then some fresh ground black pepper. That was about 2 to 3 tablespoons of black pepper. Now I'm just going to take my hand and get this all mixed together. So all those seasonings are perfectly distributed and mixed throughout. So once we put it back onto our rib roast, we want to make sure it gets every bit of every perfect seasoning we've got in our dish here. So now I'm just going to take it and spread it on all the sides, on the top. I'm just going to spread it throughout all around. You know, the best part of the rib roast, if you ask me, is that crust, and these seasoning spices and herbs just make it phenomenal. It is the best part by far. Of course, the meat inside is really awesome too. So now I'm just going to pat it down with my glove, make sure to try and get it to stick to that skin as I flip it on the side. And then I want to bring back in my seasoning and get it all over the side. So every side, if possible, can have that delicious herbal and seasoning crust on it as it cooks to make sure those flavors really penetrate the meat and you have that fantastic crust of flavors on the outside as it cooks in the air fryer, which is going to do a really, really fantastic job of creating that nice, traditional, delicious piece of meat that's on the outer layer of our roast. So I'm just drizzling it on top, making sure we get every last bit. Don't miss a single side, a single piece of that beef. So we make sure everyone that gets a bite gets the absolute best bite possible. All right, now from here we got one more seasoning or one more herb. We're going to add in some rosemary. It wouldn't be a phenomenal roast without some rosemary. So I'm just going to keep a few pieces of these and just put it right on top. And once it's in the air fryer, those flavors will all mix together and work together like a beautiful piece of music, if you will, making this recipe just work phenomenally with all the different herbs and seasoning and the air fryer doing its job, circulating that air around it and cooking it quickly and easily. So now from here, I'm going to transfer it to my air fryer platter or the rack. And then once we have it on there, we're going to go at 380 degrees for 15 minutes to start. Yes, 380 for 15 minutes to kind of get a sear on that outer edge. In we go. Good luck. Godspeed. Can't wait to try you when you're done. So 380, 15 minutes. Now once that's done, look at that. We got that crust done. Now we're going to go 315. We're going to go about 45 minutes now. All right, it's been 45 minutes. We're out of the oven. Let's see what our temperature is. We're going to go in for about medium here. And we're right about 133, just perfect. Now we're going to let that sit and just cook a little bit more as it sits and settles. Now we're going to make an accompanying dish. This is a perfect little side dish if you ask me. We're starting with some baby carrots. So we're going to put a few tablespoons of olive oil, just drizzle them right on top of those carrots. Cool thing, we're going to make these dishes in the air fryer as well. So we're going to keep using that one piece of equipment. Now I'm adding in about a tablespoon of cinnamon. It's going to create such a beautiful little bit of a spicy flavor that accompanies those carrots just wonderfully. And then some crushed black pepper, just a few teaspoons of that. If you want it a little bit hotter, a little bit spicier, you can go a little bit heavier on the black pepper. Let's mix this up. Make sure we get all those spices and seasonings on every one of those little baby carrots, so that each one has just a great flavor as the next. Now we just got to get out another one of our air fryer racks and transfer our carrots right on top. Let's go ahead and pour it on out. And that olive oil is going to create such a delicious layer of flavor on the outer edge along with the seasonings. Let's get these all organized. Perfect. Look at that. Just beautiful. Now the next one we're going to do is some red potatoes. What goes better with a good piece of meat than some nice, delicious potatoes? I really love these red potatoes, and there's some golden ones in there too if you're more of a golden fan. Now we're going to put a few tablespoons of olive oil, go and drizzle it right on top. This is going to just cook so beautifully and create such a wonderful flavor. We're bringing in some pepper, some fresh ground pepper again, a little bit of spice on the potatoes, and then some, from here, some rosemary, which I really, really love those rosemary potatoes, and that's the flavor we're going to create. So we're doing about a tablespoon of rosemary into our potatoes as well. Then some garlic. Wouldn't be wonderful potatoes without some garlic. We're going to go with the coarse ground garlic here, and about a tablespoon of that. You can go a little bit heavier if you like that garlic a lot, like I do. And then some iodized sea salt. This is ground salt, not the coarse like we used on our beef. And then we got a few tablespoons of that salt. Let's mix it on up. Looking good. We want to get it nice and well mixed. And then from here, once we have those seasonings all mixed about on all those potatoes, every one of the potatoes getting its own little bit of the seasonings, we want to put these onto our trays as well from here. And we're almost there, just a little bit more. Don't want to miss any of those potatoes one bit at all. Very important that we get them all perfectly seasoned. There we go, good. Now we just got to bring in our rack, get our potatoes spread out on our rack, and we'll be ready to cook. Don't these look so fantastic? They smell just as good as they look. We gotta go in the air fryer now for about 18 minutes total. We're gonna go 9 minutes on one side, then we're gonna kind of flip them a little bit, and then we're gonna go 9 minutes on the other side. All right, let this sit for about 20 minutes now, so it could finish cooking and lock in all those juices. Now let's see how it looks inside, the most important part. Look at that beautiful crust, all those seasonings and herbs. I bet you can just taste it. My mouth is watering. I can't wait to see how we did. Almost there. One more little slice. Nice. Oh, look at that. Perfect. Just beautiful. Medium rare. So nice. All right, here we go. Let me get that knife again. Time for the taste test. This is just going to be phenomenal. I know it. I love how this air fryer did on this. This is so great. I hope you give this a try. It already smells so tremendous. The crust tastes so great. I can taste it a little bit already. That's so juicy. That's so great. You guys are going to absolutely love this one.